Hey guys, I'm coming on tonight. I wasn't going to come on, but I feel like I've had this message weighing on my heart and I have to share it. For the last week, there has been a word that has been going around in spirit. It's been going around in a lot of videos. I've been hearing it on the radio. I've heard it several times, if not up to like maybe 15 times now in these last several days. At first, I didn't take notice to it, but then it started getting more strikingly obvious. And then I heard multiple people in one day use it in vids. And then it continued to do so in vids for all separate people. And it's starting to coincide with the overall feeling I've been having. So here it is. The overall feeling I'm getting is that there's a boom coming. Here comes the boom. Now, the reason why I'm using that statement is because that specific word boom is what I've been hearing through spirit all week. And I don't want to alarm anyone. That isn't the pretense of why I think this is happening. Now, I would say today and yesterday, I've been asking, like, what is this all about? And I've been getting a lot of answers from spirit. Like, for example, I asked, like, oh, is it going to be a bomb? Obviously, you hear the word boom, that's the first thing you think of. But that isn't exactly what I got. I was asking about it today before I left to walk my dog, and I got this pic sent to me through spirit. When I saw that, I was like, okay, yeah, I kind of get it, because I've been hearing about this fluctuation on the eastern seaboard, and obviously we have this huge storm going through us right now. But that wasn't where it ended. It kind of sat with me. I was like, there's more to this. And then I heard it's going to trigger Cali or California. And it's not going to happen right away at the same time. But it's like whatever happens on the eastern seaboard is going to kick it to the west. Whatever the ricochet is, whatever the boom causes, is going to cause that ripple effect on the other side. That was one part of it. Secondly, I was getting shown this. That made me think of something totally different. I mean, also that it's pretty old, but it was something that grazed me right after I was asking these specific questions, and it caught my eye. So I feel like it's associated different. And then I asked, I go, what would this have to do with a boom? And then I basically was shown, ironically, like I got a promo from like an advert on my email, like right after I'd seen that pic. And it said Atlantis. And I thought to myself about how Atlantis had fallen because they played with antimatter. So I have that correlation that's running through me right now, where it's like China's playing around with fission, and Atlantis went down because of playing with antimatter. So there's that. Then I kept getting the word boom was coming through, but it was more to do with like all of us, like on a soul level, like on a spiritual level. Like the boom is going to be like God's judgment being casted, because it's like, in a weird way, what I was also being shown was like, you can't fight destiny. You can't fight growth. You can't fight against the current. You can't like fight against God's way. It's like God's way or the highway. The boom is coming, and the shake is going to be inevitable. And I feel like that boom can also be happening in people's lives. Like, we always think of that idea of the tower, but this is going to be like big things, like big shakeups, things that you couldn't even interpret or you couldn't even fathom. One other thing I'd like to say is that, if any of you guys know, I do have another channel called Up High Healing, where I do different channelings. And I can honestly say in the last several weeks, I've been doing different channelings with different beings. And another thing I noticed throughout all of those readings was, like, for example, when I tapped into Yeshua, he was saying that his presence was underway very soon. When I did Mary Magdalene weeks before that, it brought me to tears because I felt like she was letting go of Yeshua's energy to be here on this planet soon. When I did the channeling for the Anunnaki higher self, he seemed to be very adamant that the reptilians were going to get taken care of pretty soon. And then I just did one yesterday or the day before where that same correlation was taking place. Oh yes, for the Pleiadians, where there was this congratulatory type of, not that they're not always congratulatory, but it was like as if like something had finished and was coming to an end, and like, you know, we've passed the finish line feeling. So it's like in all of those different sessions with different energies, I could see throughout the weeks, it's like everything's coming to a head. And I just want to add that part in too. It was like fate doesn't make mistakes, and you'll always be exactly where you need to be. And you can't fight truth, you can't fight revelation, and you can't fight providence. And for some reason, I was getting all of that around that word boom. So I feel like this is going to be like a 3-pronged thing, where it's not only going to be like the world being in a state of cataclysm, but also some form of judgment. And I don't know, it just seems like a boom. Like, this was the last thing I heard was, it's already too late by the time you hear the sound. And that kind of shook me too. Because I can't say, like, is it going to be the start of the World War III? I don't know. Is it going to be the collapse of our climate? I don't know. Is it going to be our system crash of our, you know, financial system? I don't know. They all are around the word boom, if you think about it, because, you know, any of these decimations can be in a big boom. And I don't know why, but the world's in a state where we kind of have to face the music. And maybe the boom is the big drum starting off that music. So I'm sorry to put this out, guys, but I'm going to keep trying to see what I get. But it was just so weird. I mean, I'm somebody who watches the signs and the symbols. And like I said, like when I heard that it's already too late by the time you hear the boom, made me think of that thief in the night line in the Bible. And I'm sorry my correlations are all over the place, but I wasn't going to do a video at all. But it feels like this has been in like it's been tingling inside of me these last hours, if not these last days, because the more they kept coming in that word, boom, kept coming in my face, I couldn't ignore it anymore. So that's it, guys. Love you lots. I'll be coming on again like usual, but heed this message because I don't even know what to say, because it feels like we're not going to see it coming anyways. So good night.